Hello and welcome everybody to Lorelines. Welcome, and we are back. I always have to hold my breath and wonder when that intro is going, is the sound on? And I literally had to double check as it was running. I don't
I
hear
think
anything on this end, and I did it at the beginning. It was on monitoring mode, and I was like, okay, we're good. I turned it off, and I was like, did I just turn off the audio to the stream? What did I do?
Look at everyone. We're all different.
We are all different.
Except me. I never change.
aw.
Uh-huh.
Damn.
But yes, welcome back. It's I don't know how long it's been since the last time we all streamed.
It has officially been 8 months since our
8
last
months.
stream.
Oh my
I,
God.
however, have been more active, as you probably have seen me on Aetherite Radio probably about a month ago, I think. And I went off on a rant about the Ultima Theory. That was fun. I had a lot of fun with them.
As always, I am Cobheran, and we are joined by, we'll go around clockwise. Ayumi, introduce yourself.
I'm Ayumi Kurogane. I'm a resident of the Excalibur server. I run the social media part of the team. I also do a little bit of video script writing for the team. My main works include the Ultima Theory and a few of the VR lore videos, and I have an Aurasite video coming up soon that we need to get to working on.
Yes, you do. Arden.
Hi, I'm Arden. I'm mostly a jack of all trades. I write, I do stream stuff, management, that kind of thing. I have been playing some 14 still. I'm mostly head down raiding. And when I'm not raiding, I am currently losing like 20 hours a day to Minecraft Cobblemon. So that's fun.
Amazing. Aeneas.
Hello. Yes, resident raider here. I have been very busy with the most recent Savage tier. I am still helping out with the Mog Talk team for all of the world races. Yes, we are planning stuff for Ultimate. I've also been guesting here and there on other shows, talking about patch, breaking down all sorts of stuff, and working on Fanfest prep, which Cobb and I will both be at here in, what, a month?
Yeah,
Basically a month at
exactly
this
a
point.
month.
We have a month to finish
Yes.
our cosplays.
You know,
I'll be
So-
watching you guys.
I will be running around as the Tyrant, in various states of dress or undress. Look forward to that, I guess. Listen, I have to give the people what they want.
Yeah.
It's me. I'm the people.
Now, one very, very important question. Do you have a rocket car?
See, we were
And
just
does it
talking
fly?
about that on another server. I don't have one that I can bring to FanFest because it's on the other side of the country from me. However,
Can you make one out of cardboard?
well, so here's the thing:
Make
is
one out of
I
cardboard.
I am now a guest at DragonCon.
Nice.
Coming up this year, which I'm so excited about. It's me and the wonderful Fruity Snacks, our expert panelists for the video game track, specifically with Final Fantasy XIV. And we've recently decided that it would be fun to get one of those like kids' toy cars where it doesn't have a motor, but it's cut out in the bottom so that you
Yes.
can kind of like walk with your feet and then it will roll around, and paint it like it's the Tyrant's car.
Amazing. I love it.
So if you come to DragonCon, which is my local one here in Atlanta, prepare to see Tyrant run over by his own car, by the one and only Fruity Snack.
What you could have done is just paint a Segway and then just rolled around on that.
You know, ironically,
Oh my
I
God.
have run myself over with a Segway before, but that is a story for a different time.
Or even a
I-
hoverboard.
I'm struggling to imagine how that might happen, but we'll go into that
Oh,
later.
that is a whole other story. Just trust me when I tell you it's possible, and I had tire tracks on my thigh for 2 weeks.
That's impressive.
Oh my God.
actually.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Anyway, so I will also be at FanFest. I will actually be running around in Male Vieira starter gear, which I saw it and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do something simple this year. So I'm gonna wear a white mage, and then decided to do that instead. So I'm in crafting.
the Vieira video that I made had no inspiration on that whatsoever.
None.
Was it?
Absolutely. none.
Okay.
Yep. But no, I've been spending the last 3, 4 solid weeks 3D printing the armor and sewing, and it's been an experience for sure.
You and I don't know how to take it easy, and I think it shows.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
really don't. I'm like, oh, I
You
have
guys
free
don't know.
time. Let me fix that.
You guys don't know how to stop.
No,
No,
it's you know what? It's to the betterment of the community.
indeed it is. So, hello, Alia in chat. Thank you for welcoming us back. It's good to
All
be back.
6 of you.
Yeah, all 6 of you, right? Um, so I know I personally have been playing other games, doing other streams. Uh, I know Arden and Aeneas have both been working on raid progress on this current tier. How's that going?
Good. I mean, I have a clear favorite fight, but my static is almost through our. We're halfway done with re-clears on the first several fights, so we're nearing the end of 12 prog.
Nice.
And that means we are prepping for the upcoming ultimate. So I'm super stoked about that.
My group is thankfully done with 9 and 10. We're almost done with 11. Progress on 12 has been slow because people have been sick and PF on Primal is not PFing. Everyone's just going to Ether and we keep not doing that.
It's because you're on Primal.
That used to be the raid.
We are the
Center.
Midwest of the servers.
Well, I can't argue with that, I suppose.
Yep.
Yeah, it's been worse than normal lately too, because usually it's like, oh yeah, there's like, there's like a couple pages of high-end raid groups in Party Finder on Primal, and this tier it's just been like, yeah, there's 8 total across all the
Yeah.
fights.
The only thing that we promote is the venues. And those are usually all on Ultros or Lamia.
Yeah.
Or Hyperion.
Hmm.
There is nothing on my server. Excalibur, where are you at?
Exactly.
They all
Crickets.
left, except
There's
for
no
us.
answer.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. That's good. I will say one thing in very, very favorable about Dawn Trail, which is that the combat design has been absolutely stellar in this expansion. I don't think anyone can argue that.
A lot of people do.
They're wrong.
Which that's literally my I mean, you're right. That's literally my response. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry that you need a reward. If you don't like playing the game, you should play something else. But if you're actually playing the game, this is the most fun I've had in a hot minute.
Right.
I think they could have done a lot more with the mechanics in Futures Rewritten, the ultimate, involving the Eden raids about a year ago at this point. But like all the Savage stuff has been top tier. This last tier specifically is my favorite, hands down. No holds barred, no notes. Everything is just chef's kiss. I'm having so much fun with it. I was telling folks here before we started the show that my idea of de-stressing on a Friday night is going into fresh learning parties for M11S in Party Finder to help people prog, because I genuinely just have such a good time with the fight. It's my favorite fight they've put in the game in a very, very long time.
I was gonna make a joke about you being a masochist, but I
No.
just made it.
No,
I
I have
mean,
fun.
Sitting in that type of chair, why wouldn't she be?
Listen, I love the fight. You can bet the second we finish the 8.0 story and I get through all the quests and everything, the first thing I'm going to do is unsync Tyrant Savage clears on tank and try to solo him, because that's literally where I'm at. This is my fight till the day that I die. I love him so much.
Solo him in a fight. Right?
Listen, that's the most intimate way that you can beat that man in combat, okay?
I love
in a fight.
all of the fights of this tier. I think they're all spectacular. I I don't know. Aside from waxing poetic about wondering where someone was going to get stepped on, and then it just literally being, here you go.
Every
in this expansion there's always one, and we finally got it. And then we have the Sum 41 brothers.
I love Devil May Cry, but Surfer Edition.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
I
have been on a 90s
I
kick after
enjoyed
that.
that.
It was a fun fight. I've really enjoyed this tier, and I think they really stuck the landing with the story this time. I think they did a fantastic job with Arcadian. I think it's been amazing.
Narratively, it also just has so many layers that work for the fights as well and work within the theme of wrestling. Like, it's so well written, like on that layer, but also some of the fights challenging you as a player in a meta context as well is so genius. Like the way that they do the multiple types of enrages on the first phase of M12S specifically. I think the best example of that is when we do the world races, right? A very popular strat now is not damaging the boss whatsoever, just focusing on mechanics, solving them, and executing them perfectly. And when the team gets confident, they like start doing damage. Well, during the first phase of M12S, the boss starts its enrage period early if you haven't done enough DPS by a certain mechanic. So you have to get him below a certain health bar to see more mechanics. And then you get an extra enrage timer if you've done enough DPS by that point in time. So like actually doing the DPS there is a way to kind of bring the player in on a meta level into the story. And the story itself being like so much kayfabe, right? You have to buy into it for your role. It's just so genius. And all the music as well. I will continue waxing poetic about it. It's so good. Like the story is so well done, the characters are well written, the voice acting is top tier, music is top tier. Like it's not everything that I wanted, but it's everything that I needed, and I'm
Yeah.
so thankful for it.
I will say I was very, and there are going to be spoilers in this cast, by the way, if anyone hasn't done it. Go do it, and then watch
You had
the
your
VOD.
spoiler warning.
Yep.
3, 2, 1. Here it is.
Yeah, there you go. So Brute Bomber. I fell in love with him absolutely immediately as soon as I realized he was basically, oh god, Grinwat from Stormblood, and I,
Grindelwald?
hmm?
Grinawat.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Grindelwald?
yeah, yeah, him, Boom guy, um, Boom, yeah, exactly. As soon as he said that, I was like,
No one
oh
got
my
my
god,
joke.
it's him, and I fell in love with him because like he was so obnoxious and over the top. I loved it. And then in the second part when they showed him with the cats, I was like, oh man, I went from like loving this guy as like in an ironic
A
way
heel,
to
yeah.
now I legitimately love this guy, and then he died, and I was like, oh man, I was heartbroken when that happened, and I did M12 going into it being like, I'm gonna murder this president fucker for him, for Brute Bomber, and then he has the gall to not be dead at the end.
It's so good. And then the end of the series as well. This is something I can speak to as someone who used to do music professionally, but I honestly believe that it's some of Soken's best work. The way that all of the fighters' themes from all of the fights are blended together seamlessly in that orchestrion that plays in the second phase. I like cried. Like it's an extra mechanic for me to like do a fight through the debuff of like the emotional damage
Yeah.
that I get
It's a
going into
player
that
debuff.
because it's so good. And not only is it like every fighter's theme melded together, like all of their leitmotifs are present, you can hear like the relationships between everybody in the leitmotifs, like the way that Howling Blade interacts with Brute Bomber. They used to be partners in a duo, right? They bleed into one each other, they separate and then come back together. Same thing with Eutrope and Yana, having such similar themes, but like distinct enough that you can call them out, and the way that they kind of clash and blend. And just the pause before it goes into the heavyweight champion themes, because they're the ones who know the truth and have that burden on their shoulders.
Right.
I'm legitimately tearing up here just talking about it. Like it's hard to really express the emotional weight of that, but it's so good. It's so good.
I absolutely agree. I just fell in love with this raid tier. It's so solid. Like I didn't know what to expect going into it, but I am very, very happy with what we got.
Don't
My
lie,
only
you
note
expected
is,
WWE and you got it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, my only note is could use more Alexander, but I feel like I make that note for every single raid thing if there isn't Alexander present, so that's kind of a moot
Yeah.
point.
And we'll get our time travel.
We will.
T2, the next ultimate is just Alexander again.
Right.
It's just Midas. It's just Midas difficulty all the way through.
Oh my
Alexander
god.
broke everything. I don't get me started on Alexander. That's a whole rabbit hole.
I love
don't really
Alexander.
That's a whole episode.
Yeah, that is a whole.
That's a whole episode.
I
Is
want
what
to
that
see
is.
it so that I can watch Cobb just try and sift through all the timeline nonsense.
Oh, I made a video on it already. And you know what?
I know you did.
I finally watched Steins Gate. And what
Good.
terrified me was I understood it all immediately. I didn't need an explanation.
Yeah.
I was like, this makes perfect sense. Okay, moving on.
See, I enjoy Steins Gate, and then I go and watch something like Fate, Stay Night, or any of the other Fate spin-offs, and I'm like, I hate this.
There's no consistency there. That's your fault.
I do this to myself.
You do. So we had a live letter recently, covering 7.5 part 1.
Should we explain first where we've been?
You know, we could.
What because as I
place?
see right here now, we are only down to 4 people.
Yeah.
What happened to everyone else?
I don't know, Yumi. What happened?
Putting me on the spot. Okay.
You brought it up.
I know. Well, it was on our agenda. It was first and foremost on our agenda before anything else. So I thought we were going to talk about it first. Yeah. So, as you know, we were a 7-piece band. It's starting off. And it got quite crowded. Yeah. It got quite crowded. We got to talking over each other quite a bit. There were some differences, to be sure, to be had. And just like over the course of these past 8 months, we just kind of took it upon ourselves to decide who wanted to stay and who just kind of wanted to take a step back and, just kind of be in a support capacity. And when it came down to just the 4 of us, we decided to go forward with that. We figured it would be best with just like a group of 4 people, a core group of 4 people. And that would be it in order to kind of keep things clean, kind of keep people from talking over one another, keep people's, ideas from like conflicting too badly, going too haywire. It also allows for us to be a lot more consistent, a lot easier to schedule things with 4 people rather than 7 people. Because as you know, if you can try and get 7 people online, it's like if you're trying to do something in like World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy or anything like that, trying to get 7, 8 people on, or even 40 people on. I'm harkening back to my days of Molten Core here. So getting 40 people on at one time is a feat. So 7
Not to
people
mention
on.
time zones.
Time zones, yes. Getting 7 people on to do a show consistently. Yeah. It's rough. And especially if it's a topic they don't really want to discuss or don't have an interest in. There were some episodes where some of us just weren't interested in the topic or didn't have an interest in the topic or just didn't even do like the topic at hand. Like some of us, we would talk about a raid that none of us had actually done before, and so we'd skip the episode. Like the individual people personally.
I remember.
So that just we just kind of discussed that and was like, you know what? With 7 people and 3 gone, 4 gone. Why go through all that trouble? It's just easier with 4 people. It's a smaller cast, yes, but it's easier to manage, control, and get things moving.
Yeah, speaking of foregone conclusions, I can't help but notice how crisp and clear your sound is, Ayumi.
Oh yeah, I spent money and I got a better mic. So now I'm I'm
No,
evolved.
you sound fantastic. Welcome,
Thanks.
welcome to the world.
Welcome to Well, I dropped using a Blue Yeti mic. That Blue Yeti mic I've been using for since Shadowbringers, the beginning of Shadowbringers. Now I'm using this Fifine. It's a kind of a new company with a boom and a filter, pop filter.
I'm a
It's really
little low
nice.
because I'm right next to the microphone, but I turned my boost up a little bit. Thank you, Celine. Is that better?
But that's where we've been. We don't wish any ill will towards our former cast members. They've been great cast members. They've been great friends. I mean, heck, one of them even provided the artwork for us, and I'm extremely thankful for that. But we just wanted to just kind of downsize a bit.
Yep. It got a little bit hectic with the roundtable format when it wasn't really properly moderated. I don't want to say properly moderated, but we want an open table format, kind of like if you're just chatting in a Discord, was the idea that we wanted for this instead of saying, okay, you have the stick now, you can talk and only you can talk. Um, Still say I'm quiet. Okay, I'll crank it up some more. Thank you, Quantum.
You certainly are.
Yeah. Okay. There, I'm broaching red now, so hopefully it's a little better. But yeah, basically it was kind of
Yeah, you sound good.
yeah, who wanted to stay, who wanted to go. I wanted to go. They wouldn't let me, so here I am. No, I'm kidding. But
Absolutely
that's
not.
kind of what we've been up to. We have been talking about how we can upgrade the stream, how we can make it look better, flow better, and some things that we can do. So if you have anything that you would like to see on this stream, please don't hesitate to let us know. We're open to ideas. We want to make this stream better, not only for us, but for everyone who watches. Basically, what I want on this stream is what am I not seeing out there, and what can I do to entertain myself.
Same. I mean, I run the social media account on Twitter. I'm not going to call it X because fuck Elon Musk. I hope you heard me too. Um, yeah, if you want to see anything, just shoot us a message on Twitter, a DM or whatever. I am open to any and all things, and I will relay it to the team.
Oh shit, theory
Heck, we have
boards.
a yeah.
Oh, I like
Heck,
that idea.
we have a Discord too. I mean, if you're in it, you can freely post in it. Your ideas, your thoughts, your suggestions, we take them to heart.
Yeah. The only X I know of is DMX, and X gonna give it to you. So that's it.
You're gonna get canceled.
The only X I know I can't say on stream, or we will get yeeted into oblivion.
Fair.
Do you see the
Okay.
people that I
Static
work
exists.
with?
That went over my head. Moving on. As we had
Yeah,
mentioned
let's save
earlier,
Pop's soul.
I did get an email earlier, last month. Was it a month ago? Maybe 2 months ago, from Yoshi P inviting me to Fanfest. He also invited several thousand other people. And all I had to do was buy a ticket, buy a plane, and buy a hotel room. So I am going to Fanfest. But Aeneas, you are also going. What do you expect to see there besides the trailer for 8.0?
Man. So
Yes,
there
North
are
American
a few
Fan Fest.
things that we do know are happening for sure, because it was discussed in the live letter. We know there will be an ultimate next patch. With patch timing, we are expecting that to be early June in 7.51. While there is another live letter the week before FanFest, mostly to talk about technical stuff, at FanFest itself, they will be announcing what the theme of the Ultimate is. So I imagine that that's probably going to be a pretty big part of Yoshida-san's keynote. He did mention that it was not going to be a full live letter format, so I think it's mostly just going to be exciting announcements and less of kind of a... I'm sure there will still be a PowerPoint and maybe some sheets of paper. You know him. But I'm expecting it mostly to be announcements. Based on the fact that they are now finally addressing server instability, I would hope that part of that announcements will be them finally shifting to cloud servers, which would fix a lot of issues in terms of connectivity and stability, and most notably netcode when it comes to rating. So those are the big things I'm expecting. We don't have a schedule for FanFest yet, but cosplayers, if they got invited to showcase their work at FanFest, got confirmation emails today, and we were informed that the cosplay showcase would be Friday. We don't know what time, but that portion should be streamed for free. If I'm remembering correctly, I know the concerts you have to buy a ticket in order to watch the streams of. But the rest of the day's events should be free, if I'm remembering correctly, in terms of watching the streams.
Yeah,
So
that's usually how it goes.
Yeah. I'm also, we can talk about this. I'm also looking forward to the Crystalline Conflict tournament. While I am not a PvP person, the wonderful Frosty Mogborn and Brian Ricardo will be live shoutcasting that on stage while the final teams play at FanFest, which will be super fun. They're both awesome dudes. So I'm looking forward to understanding how PvP works, if only for 2 hours while I watch them talk about it.
I wish I could get into the PvP. I will be watching FanFest almost all the way through. I am very interested in pretty much, all the side events, and that includes talking with the devs, talking with the voice actors. Sometimes you can pick up things that you didn't catch lore-wise. Like sometimes they'll reveal things or hint at things, and accidentally, and the devs will be like, hold on.
So Lane posted in chat, so y'all are aware it's been higher than average on the West Coast, so stay hydrated more than normal. I will tell you about my previous experience at the Anaheim Convention Center. I was in full armor. I was cosplaying Siegfried from Soul Calibur 3, and I stopped sweating. I completely dehydrated, and that was not fun. So I am very, very cognizant of that. Aeneas, I'm going to make sure you are guzzling water as well. It's very easy to get dehydrated out there because it is not humid.
I'll be fine. And as previously iterated, Tyrant, in various states of undress, I'm sure that the heat will not be as much of an issue for me.
Just take a water bottle and douse yourself with it and get all the fan cams going.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, actually, you know what? Sorry to be 18 plus for a second, but if I stuff a few dollar bills into like the hem of my belt, do you think I could get a
Now
few
we're
more
talking.
if I dumped water on my head? How much can I charge to step on people at this point?
$5. That's the going rate.
Talking.
$5.
I feel like I should aim higher than that.
Well, you'll probably have a
higher.
line. You'll probably have a line.
$20 for a Cabadon. My 7-inch platform boots. So if you see,
I was gonna say that's cheap. Go 20.
Yeah, there we go. Wonderful. Okay, so what I'm hearing is I have a business plan.
You do.
Well, he is the
one
champ.
more thing I did want. Yes, thank you. One more thing I did want to mention as well, and I'll have more details about this posted probably next week. I am also running a Final Fantasy XI meetup at FanFest this year, and we will have a lot of veteran FF11 players as well as newbies just kind of meeting up. There will be a few FF11 cosplays as well. So if you are an FF11 fan, please stop by. I'll have details on my socials in a week or so. I was kind of waiting on the schedule to slowly get posted, but it's looking like that's probably going to be a Saturday early afternoon thing.
Yep.
So if you want to talk to me about FF11 or meet other FF11 fans, I'll be there. I have extra commemorative stickers exclusively for the meetup as well. So if you are a sticker collector, I have your shinies. Come get them.
I'll be there in spirit.
I'll save one and mail it to you, Arden.
I have stickers
Yay.
and triple triad cards. I am also, so spoiler, I did not get an email for the contest. There will be signups on site. I'm going to make the costume anyway. I don't care. I'm making a Bun Boy starter gear. But I will also be giving out Aetherite earrings at FanFest this year. I'm making a batch specifically to give away. So I have a pocket full of those. So come find me.
Can you Can I still get a purple one?
Yes.
I know we talked about that ages ago, but can I still get a purple one, pretty please?
I will bring you a purple one just to give you.
Thank you. I
You're welcome. And
appreciate you,
then
Cobb, my fellow Zodiac enthusiast.
I'll have 4 others because I have to make them in batches of 5. But yeah,
They're so pretty. I've seen them in person because I think Rook was wearing them at Fanfest
Yep.
when I met her. They're gorgeous.
I'm really happy to be making them again. It feels like putting on a broken in pair of shoes, honestly.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. So let's see. We talked about FanFest. We know we're getting the trailer for 8.0. We've heard that it's not Maricidia.
Thank God.
But yeah. Um, but I, with the recent variant dungeon, am leaning towards. Do you think we're gonna see Corvos?
Questionable.
I have opinions.
Okay, let's start with Ayumi.
Why? Oh, all right. Because that dungeon gave. All right, so that dungeon kind of made me tweak out a bit because it's a snowy dungeon, right? I'm thinking, oh, okay, it's snowy. The backdrop didn't help because I'm near pilled, and it made me think of the white mesa just falling from the sky from just the original Nier game. It's the backdrop is almost uncanny. So I know I'm going to be going through that dungeon just like, okay, let's avoid the snow. Let's put on our breathing masks. Steer clear of any shadows that tend to pop out of the ground here.
Yeah, don't let the goddess get you. Make that choice.
Oh god. As if I wasn't already like freaking out enough during the raid. I really wish I could have seen the red dragon glitch during the first Nier raid, because I swear I would have gone to Meowth just shaking her.
And that's something Yoko Taro would have absolutely done.
Taro has
I
rewired
still don't
my
believe it's
brain.
a glitch.
Is it a glitch?
Taro, no, I refuse to believe that. Taro has rewired my brain completely. So now anything it's that even like seems like it was conceived by him, or even that his composer like maybe has done, I'm like, PTSD warning. But
true.
Going past that, I would say Northern Ilsebard is the place that we're going to be looking at. As much as Stout wants to say Uncloud Ilsebard, I think maybe it's time to.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's going to be the big takeaway from 8.0, is we're going to get to see the rest of Ilsebard.
Let me pull up a map real quick.
Yeah. Arden, what do you think about Corvos while Ayumi pulls up the map?
My suspicion is that they're going to split the expansion between Bitterfrost and Corvos.
Stormblood 3.0, let's go.
Blind Frost and
Yeah, Blind Frost. Yeah, Blind Frost and Corvos.
And instead of Yangsha, do you think we'll get the other half of that? Nagsha, I believe.
We already got Nagsha.
Well, kinda. We can't wander around. Yeah, kinda.
We already got Final Fantasy China.
We did.
Yeah, we did.
Yes, Celine says, I wouldn't mind if 8.0 actually revealed Garlemald more. I am looking forward to the new dungeon they showed, where we're actually going into Garlemald proper, not the outskirts. So
yeah, I'm looking at the big map on Sleepy Shiba right now, and if they don't do like Ilsebard and Corvos, I think it'll be Blind Frost and Corvos, but I could also see them doing Ilsebard and Blind Frost.
So what we're looking at is not the Garlean Empire, because we're already past that, but we're looking at Ilsebard. We're looking at the Unpromised, the Dalvilan Gate. We're looking at Blind Frost, the Knowing Sea. We're basically kind of going through the burn, kind of. I wonder if I don't know if there's Yeah, well, Corvos too.
Yeah, the
We've been to the
anchorite at
bound.
Corvos and the Corvos Narrow are very close to Thavnair.
Mm-hmm.
That and Dalmasca. There's a strait in Dalmasca that leads to Corvus, so it makes me wonder. Let's go back to Dalmasca, even for a little bit, because we still have yet to see Valnane, and we still have yet to see Leamond.
Right.
See, the concern I have with the proximity to Dalmasca is I'm like, what if they just cuck us and they decide that next expansion's raid series is just going to be Corvos? Like not like the 24-man raid series.
Yeah, I would not like that at all.
I would not like that either, but mostly because Corvos is one of the places where the only information that we legitimately have about it is anecdotal. Like, I
Yeah.
think that was one of my
Mhm.
biggest disappointments with the variant dungeon is it's told through the context of a book, which is cool. I think it's a cool premise, but the whole idea of variant dungeons is that you can explore more in the places that you haven't gotten a lot of in-game context for, like Sealdian Subterrane. We already knew a lot of this information because we read the encyclopedias, right? But getting to explore it in-game and discover more secrets, like yourself,
Yep.
is part of the fun of it. It was the same thing with Aloe Aloe Island and like the South Sea Isles, right? Getting a variant dungeon in the context of this is an unreliable narrator because it's through the layers of how you are interpreting a book
Mhm.
that you can't super like verify the origins of is a little bit frustrating from the perspective of someone who's trying to understand more about the world on a higher level. It is very cool mechanically, and I love digging through unreliable narrators to kind of find the truth. It's kind of the premise of a lot of the early parts of Final Fantasy XIV's story in general, right? Is we learn more of the truth as we go along, and then we have to do something with the truth. The thing for Corvos is that's like everything that we have about it. Because the most that it's been brought up in previous times is, oh, well, this is where Graha's people are from, and
Yep.
a lot of that has been overwritten by Garlean history, and that's like also not 100% reliable because Garlemald was ruled by like a fascist government for a very long time, and its own people is only just like unlearning a lot of that kind of iron grip, right? So when we get to cases like the Sorrow of Verlet, where a lot of like Corvosi folks lived, um, that's almost entirely eradicated as well, and they're currently rebuilding. And that's frustrating from the perspective of trying to learn more about the world, but it's also frustrating with respect to Corvos in general, because I don't know that we'll ever get to actually experience it for ourselves.
Yeah.
That being said, I'm of the boat that we're going to be spending time on more shards rather than
Yep.
an Eorzea or on Aetheris.
That
for
is the other
expansion.
big
Yeah.
theory
Yeah.
right now is that
Yeah.
we're going to see another shard. I have mixed feelings about that. I, on one hand, really enjoyed going to the first, exploring there. Seeing parts of the ninth was pretty cool. But I don't know if I'm ready to start going into yet another shard before we either get, Ilsabard Unclouded or Mirror City or something on the source. But that said, going to another shard, if we do, means almost certainly that we're going to be dealing with a big bad that starts with U, because that would be a perfect opportunity to introduce something like that.
Well, I'm actually in a different boat when it comes to that, which is strange coming from me. I know. But the thing that a lot of the patch story has been leading up to is like a third alternative to
Mhm.
the Zodiac Hydaelyn conflict.
Yep.
And that would be stabilization between shards.
Mhm.
So what I think is this is going to be a lot of, instead of having like tears in reality trying to push shards together in unorthodox ways, I think it's going to be more about like bridge building and maybe stabilizing the flow of the life stream between shards while they retain their own identities. There's a lot that they can explore there. So I would be curious more as to how we could explore that through Eorzea's like ethereal wastelands, so to speak. So like the empty, the burn, right? Mericidia to a certain extent. I think that would be the only context in which I would be okay with going to Mericidia, is that if it's kind of our gateway to be able to get to other shards, because that's a place where the walls are thinner, if that makes sense.
It does.
So I don't want it to be a, okay, well, this zone is this shard and this zone is this shard, or this is the X shard expansion, right? Because I don't
Or,
think
you
that's
know,
interesting
like
narratively
this,
either, but
all these zones are based off of real world equivalents, so this must be
Right.
this and this must be this.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in trying to find a way to stabilize these things, because that's going to be all the more devastating when we get that like intershardal, like dangerous to the soul kind of
Intershardal.
conflict, which is where we're kind of going as far as overarching goes. But this is about next expansion, not, hey, what's the conclusion of the second arc?
Right.
You know?
Right,
So
right.
But
that's kind of where I'm going with that. So I think Corvos would be a good gateway to that, because that's where a lot of like the Oversoul and like all of the Dalmasca science kind of convalesce. That's where the knowledge was stored. So I'd love to go there. I don't think we're going to get too much out of it.
Yeah.
But I'd love to go there.
I will say it's interesting that we know so much about Mericidia. All we don't know is what's going on there now. But we know, like you said, the aether there is thinner. There's a lot of portals that were ripped open in Mericidia due to the Allegan War. And we know that, they summoned a lot of things down there that we've dealt with. But I feel like we generally know what to expect in Mericidia. Corvos is kind of a black box still, aside from people come from here. We know there's been a lot of soul stuff in the Dalmasca region right next to it. So it's kind of like, if we are going to be diving further into the soul stuff, which I wholeheartedly believe we are, I think Corvos is the next logical step. And Mericidia maybe further down the line as we start,
like 9 or 10.
Yeah, like looking at, okay, how can we use this key to direct ourselves to yet another shard, and how do we use this key? And I was so pissed off because in 7.4 they finally start asking the questions about the key that they should have started asking at the beginning of 7.1.
Yeah.
And I was like, why did it take you this long to start asking about this insanely powerful relic that can do all of this stuff? What is wrong with you?
Yeah, and now we finally have the key on the patch art at least.
Yeah, and
it's that's on the key portion of that. We have stills from the live letter of they took it out of its housing, is what it looks like, at least from the scan diagrams we can see in the background. I'm like, what are the implications of this? Because I want to understand how the Aurosite works independent of like the chalice.
Yeah,
I'm curious how that conduit works. Right?
Let's bare handle Aurosite.
Yeah, let's just do that.
Everyone does
that's
before
never
us.
gone wrong. And the second part of it too, and the thing that's like, this is the thing that's been bothering me, and I'm just gonna assume because it hasn't been brought up that it's a non-issue. But if Kryl missed a rejoining, why does she have the same density of soul as everyone else because she was present for one? Like if you come from another shard and you experience a rejoining on the source, do you experience a rejoining large enough to catch you up to how many times everyone else has been rejoined? Or are you one behind? That's what I'm curious about. But because your Stola has looked at Kryl so many times and not commented on it, I'm just going to assume that it catches you up, because the other option is that either your Stola's aether sight is not as good as she claims, or she's fucking lying to us.
So my thinking on that specifically, and it's kind of magic hand waving bullshit, is that, it merges the live streams together. So the other parts of Kryl's soul were there, and when she came over and there was another rejoining, it just kind of merged in with the rest of that.
Well, how would that work in reverse then? Because that would mean that there were several. Yeah, that's why I'm like, that doesn't work, and I have to make it work because that's how I understand this universe is through that. So Or like Alec in chat is like, would Emmett's like tier of sight have been better for that? Because maybe your Stola can't distinguish between like 2 or 3 rejoinings, but should be able to tell the difference between 1 rejoining and 8 rejoinings, right?
Could be, yeah.
Would make it even funnier if Emmett had ever perceived Kryle and was like, huh, this will be funny for them in the future when they figure it out. He was like, I'm gonna play a prank so diabolical, and then he wasn't around to see it.
Mm-hmm. On the other hand, Ishtola should have been able to call out Grahatia's incredibly dense ether that looked a lot like ours.
Also that! Also that! I'm crashing out about this.
So
like
fair,
they forgot that we're lore mongers.
Right.
And,
like how
we can
bad
remember
is her,
this stuff.
How bad is Ishtola's soul sight really?
Wow, you guys pay a lot of attention, don't you?
I hate that quote. Oh, it drives me insane.
It's up to your interpretation, guys.
No.
Yeah.
We did get during our break.
So I just want to go back to the map real quick for just a second. So we're going into northern Ilsabard here. If you think that we're going into Corvos, I'm looking at the other end of the Ilsabard map here. We also have Airslant and Nagin, which translates to origin in the Rogadan language. And then we also have Godzilla with a spear. And
we also have Koshu that we have not gone to that we might have.
There is so he has said something about that.
Yeah.
It's going to be some kind of we're going to help like the shogun or the ruler of that land.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a reason we haven't set foot there, and that's going to be like a quest or something there. That's future content. He's definitely said something about that.
I hope that's like side content. I don't want that to be main content. As weird
I would
as
love
sounds.
for something like that to be exploration content.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
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 Because there is a reason that we have been kept to the port of Kugane. We're not allowed to step foot on the island of Koshu.
Yeah, because that's how Japan used to be in real life.
Yes.
It was just the port.
And then I also want to know what the heck the Warring Triad looking island is in the sky above the Garlean Empire.
Yeah, the floating
because the map says that it's Mare Lamentorum and Ultima Thule and all that, but that's not exactly how we got there. I don't remember stepping into an island in the sky and then teleporting up to the moon.
Well, you kind of did step into the tower in Garlemald directly below it and teleport up to the moon.
But
that's true.
Did we step on an island and rearrange the statues and call forth Kefka and?
No.
But we could.
Nope. But I did recently, as in yesterday, finish playing FF4 all the way through for the first time, so I am very refreshed on my moon lore.
Moon's haunted.
Anyways, that was just some observations I wanted to make about the rest of Ilsabard, the west and the east and the north. I still want to fight Godzilla with a spear.
I like that. I want to fight Godzilla with a spear, one-on-one.
Seriously, what is with that? Like there's a whale like right over.
So, I attribute that to like old maps or the unknowns. But if you look at the gaps in the clouds, it's kind of sea colored. Like it's there might not even be land there.
It's not old because otherwise we'd be looking at like, let's say, we'll look at East Authored. They have the 4 lords on there. Like Genbu, Seiryu, Byakko, and Suzaku are all on there.
Yeah.
So it's not
like old style maps, as in like old style real life maps where they have like mythical entities on the maps.
Dragons.
Yeah.
But I understand.
Still, like you've seen all of them. We have seen all of these creatures.
We have, but most people have not. Whoever drew the map has not seen these creatures.
Maybe
we will see a giant whale. You're saying,
yeah.
Maybe the final boss is going to be whoever drew the map. It alluded to all of these horrendous things that we've had to fight along the way.
We did see the giant whale. It's Bismarck.
Okay, they're coming up on the whale.
Yeah, it's legitimately, if they're that powerful to have survived all of these things, and it's supposed to be a great feat that the Warrior of Light is able to take him down, how did the map drawers survive, if that's true?
I don't know.
Right.
This could break the lore, guys.
Yeah. So
I
real,
have a question for y'all
sure.
since we haven't really discussed the patch much.
I was about to go into that, but yes, let's go.
Yeah.
How do y'all think that Halmarut is going to tie into the coming expansion, if at all?
Oh my god, I discussed this on the Aetheryte radio show.
You didn't discuss it here.
Can
No, I did not.
Can I do a gameplay thing first?
Yes.
before we
You
get
do it
into
first because
lore?
I've already discussed things, but I'll reiterate on my
So-
stuff.
On one of the like written interview live letters, it was either for Korea or China, because they were not caught up a patch ago, but they are going to be caught up as of 7.5. Because China caught up on 7.4, and then the last one will be on 7.5, which is super cool. First of all. But on one of these forums, one of the questions was asked about additional character customization, particularly when it comes to colors. Because we've seen so many like vibrant hair colors and highlights and stuff in Solution 9. So it was very clearly in that context. However, the answer we got was, "Oh yeah, we're going to be adding a whole bunch of new customization options to like character creator stuff." So very specifically when it comes to Aura, I think it would be cool if part of the character customization was maybe getting to like make some changes to your horn colors. So I hope that that's something that's getting hinted at. We also know from ages ago that there's theoretically a third Aura race out there that we just haven't seen
Mhm.
that could
Yoshi
also
P's
be
response,
what
don't you guys
Halmarut is
have
from.
computers?
Yeah, exactly
Yeah.
that one. So I think from that perspective, we're either going to get that like third rare type of Aura, which could either be all green horns or all different types of like multicolored horns. Which would be a way to add that to the character creator. I'm not saying that they're going to do this. He hasn't talked about like horns, but he did allude to it being more than just like a hairstyle color option that was being added. So I think from a gameplay perspective, that would be really cool to add. I'm also biased because I play RA. I will not be changing Aeneas. I never have, and I never will. But I think it would be cool to add, you know?
I just want them to split the horns from the faces.
Yeah, that too. I think that would be a big quality of life change.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, we all play different races, don't we?
We do.
Yes.
My big thing, specifically, kind of on that topic, is I see them doing a lot of big quality of life moves and consolidations, and it makes me wonder about the length of the patch cycle that we've seen in Dawn Trail, and that they seem to be addressing a lot of back end issues. Like I know they've addressed the DDoS thing with the servers. They're consolidating all the dives to reduce inventory bloat. And it just makes me wonder, are they finally attacking that spaghetti code?
No. To
Never.
attack that spaghetti code, that would be a complete overhaul of the game from the system servers up. Because the game was built upon that code, and then to redo that code, that would be a massive year by year undertaking.
Well, they've kind of been heading in that direction.
They've been making small incremental steps to fix things. But I'm gonna go ahead and take another example page out of World of Warcraft's book. World of Warcraft has been doing the same thing. They've been running off of old code for a while, but it took them, let's see, I think it was back in Cataclysm was when they began their graphical updates and their fidelity updates and all that. That was in 2011 or 12, and they've been doing it slowly over the past like decade or so. And then Final Fantasy comes out like, was it 3 years ago? 2 years ago was when the graphical update was announced.
Mm-hmm.
Now, just now, they've announced that they're going to be working on the graphics settings, but who knows if they're going to be working on like the actual back end settings. But
Well-
like you said, they're going to be working on other things too. But like, it's going to take time.
That's
And-
what I'm saying, though. They have been, because it's the same spaghetti code that 11 is written on, and 11 just got a systems overhaul. So
Yeah.
they've like debugged
I've
it.
seen a lot of good things with 11 recently. It's
But
looking great.
I do want to bring it back to Arden's question, because we talked about the technical stuff and got distracted. The lore implications for Halmarit are so fun for me.
Mm-hmm.
I figured you might say that.
Yeah, because we're talking about the Winterers, right?
Yes.
I'm assuming that's the direction you did want to go in.
Yep.
Arden, stop me if I'm wrong.
Yeah. No, you're correct.
Yeah, Arden watched me scream and cry when this came up. They actually went back and clipped it, and it's the most embarrassing clip on my Twitch channel. It's deeply funny. But the word winterer has such specific connotations because it's being translated differently in different localizations, but all of them kind of point to the direction of someone who is in a place temporarily because they move. They have multiple homes. They are there for a time and then they pick up and leave for the winter, right? You have like a winter home.
Okay.
That is such a specific turn of phrase. And the fact that they're using like different non-literal translations for all of the localizations, I've seen a few people complain about it. The fact that they're using something specific to each language that denotes this, but also has a certain theme to the word that heralds back to other things we've experienced, like winter for us in like the English Eorzea, if you play the game in English, has certain connotations.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's so fascinating.
That is
and
interesting.
Yeah, and the fact that she gave us like a little bit of a recap of stuff that we already knew about moving people between shards, because she is an Asian, theoretically. She doesn't have pauldrons, which means she may not have a seat currently. Either it was stripped of her, or she doesn't have the memory stone, or what have you. That's specific. Which that also freaked me out in the first cutscene. We don't even know if that was actually Halmarit, because we didn't see the face and we didn't see a name. That could be another entity, and they've just bait and switched us again.
It could be a
which
Mariloth
Yeah.
2.0.
Mariloth again.
Back
No.
from the dead after 2.3.
She just comes back in like the right side of her face, and the arms are just like glowing blue. Sorry, I got dunked once again.
Yeah, something like that. I think it would be most likely if it was Pashtara, if it ended up being that. But like the specific thing that Halmarit was talking about, I think that alludes more to like finding stopgaps and bridges between the shards, because a winter, or you know, if you're swapping sides a whole bunch, it's not quite exactly what Elidibus did as the emissary, right? Because he was still focused on his true purpose at the end of the day.
Right.
But something legitimately more gray, outside of influence, like in full control of your faculties, if you are a sundered soul and you just happen to have some Asian knowledge, you can go rogue, and Fandaniel used that for evil. Who's to say that this is evil? Yeah, she's working with Calyx, but you know what? I feel like he's just going to go along with whatever she says, so I'm not exactly taking that as a moral standing at this point in time.
Yeah.
She put him in a teddy bear and is just kind of carrying him around. That's hilarious. I want more of that. I want like a buddy comedy of this.
Same.
Also, she's cute, and I want more of her.
He likes wearing old clothing.
I did enjoy Halmarit. I was disappointed it wasn't the dude, but that was never going to happen. So, but I will say,
had to explain you know how embarrassing it is to explain my joke to a whole new cast?
I will say, I mean, I think most people here know the story, so I don't need to go into it. But I will say that it's interesting that Winterers, describes someone who is very nomadic, someone who doesn't settle down or doesn't have a place to go back to. And it makes me wonder if it's less of a physical description and more of what happened to the Asians after we, killed the Unsundered. And
Exactly.
they don't really have a purpose now. They don't have a place to go back to. Like, they could probably go back to the chrysalis, but there's nothing there for them. Like, there's no purpose. There's no I don't want to say others, because there's a couple left and debatable, maybe a few more. But what is driving them now? Like, what are they trying to accomplish? I think is the big question now. Is it something that we could help with, or is it something that's going to be antithetical to what we're trying to accomplish? Are they trying to continue the rejoinings? There's no point to that. Zodiark's dead. So what are they doing?
And I think that's so fun as a theme to kind of pick up on after Dawntrail, because so much of Dawntrail was, what does it mean to be alive? What does it mean to choose your own purpose in life? Well, the people who were sundered and then happened to share a soul with a convocation member and were raised to the seat of an Ascian, they are different people than they were before they had the memories, but they are not the original convocation member. That's a whole new person.
Yep.
It drove Fandaniel mad, but what do you do in circumstances like that where you've just been granted immortality and knowledge and power beyond your understanding and you are simply let loose? We already know that, Fandaniel was a little unhinged in many ways. He's the best example we have of this, right? Because, Amon was a mad scientist, truly. But we can also look at Mitron and Gaia.
Yep.
Gaia is a great example of, getting portions of that memory back and choosing, to love somebody and to do something with it, versus Mitron going a completely different route and becoming a Sin Eater and going mad in their own right, So it would be fun to see an exploration of that in real time on a larger scale. And I would hope that there ends up being some friction between Calyx, who's very set in his ways because of how he ended up having to live his life. But it's an excellent mirror for him to have died young and to only be a collection of memories at this point. Granted life by someone else's partial soul as kind of a foil narratively for Halmarit, who is the exact opposite, who has now so much soul and may not know what to do with it. I don't know where they would take that narratively, but I think that it will be interesting to see play out. So I don't know if that answers your question at all, Arden, but that's kind of what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, that answers my question. I also think it's really interesting how towards the end of the last patch, Halmarit was hinting at something we have been doing could be very dangerous for the big picture. At least that's how it sounded to me, but
that was essentially mirroring what Elizabeth said of us in A Realm Reborn. Basically, the more the Warrior of Light does for this star, the more dangerous it's going to become. I think at that time in A Realm Reborn, he was worried about like darkness.
No, he's worried about darkness.
Darkness, yeah.
Darkness and light balance.
Yeah. And now we're on a completely different shard, but the principle's the same.
I want to see Gaia come back to the main story. Now that we're dealing with
Me
Ascians
too.
again. Now is the perfect time.
Now's the time for them to actually use Eden as the great equalizer of ether to fix shards and stabilize
and totally
things
not
and all
because
that
of
good stuff.
Totally not because of a mobile game that's been released and that everyone's been thirsting over, right?
What?
The Dissidia game.
Yeah, listen. We can't
People did not know that Gaia existed until they promoted Gaia in the Dissidia game, and they're like, "Oh, it's just Gothic Tifa."
I didn't realize that it was a mobile game.
Yes.
It's kind of
they canceled Opera Omnia for that.
Yeah. It is funny though. Again, mildly related to me recently, actually playing through FF4. I didn't realize Kain was blonde. Yep. And that rocked me to my fucking core.
You didn't?
No, I didn't. I thought that ponytail sticking out the back of his helmet was like a plume or something, because the only time I'd seen his armor was in FF14, and there
he has an alternate costume.
I know. I noticed when I Googled him after I finished playing.
Oh no.
Damn, this bitch is blonde. This explains everything. And so the joke was, can we tone it down with Kane's sex appeal? And then I saw a
No.
photo of him in the Dissidia game, and I'm like, oh, yeah, that did it. Just slap a fedora on that man, and we're good. I'm
Oh,
like, yeah,
no.
yeah, good.
We
We've
have to
properly
redo
nerfed him.
all dragoons as himbos now.
I'm gonna have to look this shit up.
Mavidi.
Get out.
No. I hated that. Arden, why is that actually Kane? But also, I hated that.
Oh.
God. That did psychic damage to everyone here.
Oh, I want to cry.
The Dissidia game did psychic damage to me.
Now I'm gonna have to look this up.
Just spare yourself.
I like the only mobile games on my radar right now have just been Star Rail and Horse Girls, and that's it. That's been my life.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
Trust me. The Dissidia game is just like, what if Final Fantasy had a coffee shop AU?
Oh. Damn, I kind of like that.
Oh no. Awesome.
Listen, all they need to do is make it a dating sim, and like Square is gonna make their money back 1,000-fold, truly.
Why, Celine? So she can learn where Medion came from?
Dude.
Yeah.
Back to Helmrune.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. I guess I can explain what I was talking about on the cast on Aetheryte Radio. Back then I was just kind of like musing on how Helmer just kind of sees us as a potential threat. Like, I kind of like the idea that she's kind of wary of us and doesn't want to kind of engage with us just yet, but still kind of looks at us like, oh well, if they continue to do what they're doing, it's gonna come crashing down on them, and they're not gonna like it. But as for us, we have to outlast the coming storm. She's very cryptic about it too, and I still want to kind of take apart her last few sentences to Calyx. Like, it's nature's proclamation. Can't you hear it? It echoes in the silence left by the will of the star. Because that's so ominous, and it's also very vague and can fit a lot of things.
Yes.
Because, like, there is an emptiness left by the will of the star. We removed both wills of the star have been removed. The original one that was created to serve as it, and the one that was summoned in opposition and served as its replacement. So both wills are gone. What do we have now? Well, anything that was, I mean, this is me going the tinfoil hat route again. Anything that was there before, the wills were created, obviously, it has its chance to rise up now, aka Ultima Theory, but also other, various things too that can happen, such as, instability between shards or instability of the world's ether, things like that.
See, I see it with Heidelin being gone, that the shards are gravitating naturally towards each other now.
Mm-hmm. Same.
Which that could be calamitous in its own right. And
I think that's probably what Hammerit is alluding to. And it could just be because her character is coded this way, but I currently don't see her as malicious.
I don't think so either. But I'm also kind of like going back to what like Emmett and Graha said in Shadowbringers about the shards having like a connection with one another. Like, their connection kind of goes downstream towards the source, but they all kind of exist in separate like universes or separate dimensions and all that. And I just kind of have to like look at the whole like, okay, well, if they exist like this and if they're connected like this, would they kind of like shift around if their connection was different, and would the death of Heidelin or the death of Zodiark affect that?
Yeah. And it's our chatters kind of bring this up as well, but that's kind of why my theory for this expansion is this upcoming expansion, rather, I should say, is kind of uncovering a little bit more about how that works and finding a way to stabilize that. And the tinfoil hat for me is doing that via live stream stuff, because that could also be an opportunity.
You think
to
we're gonna go
resolve some
dunking
mysteries
back into
down
the live
there.
stream?
No, but it's like, given what we've already seen of the live stream through like the Aida scope and then the Kakaitis fight as well, like it's clearly capable of creating these kinds of things, and it's worth stabilizing so that it doesn't go rampant, right? So I would love to fight more like creatures made of like, I keep saying rampant. I don't want live stream rampant. Like as a mechanic, I think that would be awful for raiders, right? But I think something to stabilize there, like a bridge. So if we're talking about either shards withering and dying, or like kind of naturally gravitating around like planets like at risk of collision or something along those lines, having a stable bridge, whether it be an actual physical bridge or more of a metaphysical type of connection, again, hence live stream, which we know is connected, just kind of walled off, I think is more the direction we're going. I also think it would be incredibly funny if Halmaret, because she is like the kind of nervous type, maybe she's just putting on an air of mystery and saying cryptic shit without having anything behind it, just so that you can maybe perceive her as one of the cool kids.
I love that.
You know,
Probably.
like it would not be the first time we've seen that in a character, and I think that would be really fun, given that it would also subvert everyone's expectations of, oh, not another Asian, here we fucking go, right? It would be really fun to be like, to have her come back and be like, I actually only know what kind of the problem is. I don't know what I'm doing here. Help. Can we please fix this? I'm not trying to break
Celine says
anything. Can you
something
just help?
in chat. I can see them having Eden raids needing to be a requirement after Shadowbringers.
Agreed.
Yeah, I would love that.
I would say so.
Same.
I also, and this is just a personal take of mine, I see most, if not every, either both new or old player of 14 always doing side content. I never see them just like skip. We don't need to do this. It's not required. I always see them do it.
It's because there is no side content in 14.
Exactly, and I don't get why the devs think that, well, you don't need to do this, or it's not required to do this, when everyone already does it anyways. I mean,
They might have something on the back end that actually gives them proper stats of how many people actually do XYZ.
Because it's everyone loves new content. Everyone loves to do new things. Everyone loves to play with their friends. All that. I just, if you asked if someone's done the raids, yes, they've done it. They probably haven't done it on Savage, but they've done it. Right? Because they've done it for the story. They've done it for the characters. They like the characters. But they just haven't done it for the raids. Maybe it's just not their thing, or maybe they have done it for the raids and it's the challenge that they want. But that's just me, and I do think that more raids will be mandatory in the future. I just think that they're being very tiptoeish about it, and they should just say, hey, these are required, and we don't have to be so cautious about it. It's you just do all the raids, and you'll be rewarded in the future with more stories, cutscenes for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think there is a certain like element of, if you give people too much, they're never gonna want to catch up, because that is a risk with older MMOs, and that's why you do see certain systems simplify over time. That's just like a necessity of game design for older games
that's
at this
why
point. However, if they're going to make another raid series mandatory, it would have to be the Eden ones at this point.
That's why I kind of wish that 14 had something similar to the Bronze Dragonflight in 14, because we could have something similar to like how WoW has it now, where you could. I mean, WoW's story has gone on so long over the years, but you can kind of level your character at a certain point in the story and then catch up to modern day. I just really like that. So just imagine your character. You've already leveled your character, or you've already played through the story, and you want to level a separate character, or you want to, do a catch up, but you do so in a way that is fed to you, in a more manageable way.
The thing that makes it difficult is, and like Preach made an excellent video about this, like
Yes,
from a
I
raid
saw that one
perspective.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's, you fundamentally cannot compare WoW and 14 in that regard, because WoW
Yeah.
is also a story that continues to overwrite itself.
Yep.
There is less for you to catch up on because every expansion you have to let go of the past.
Yep. It's just
14 is fundamentally built in a different way.
it is, and it's frustrating. It's because
'Cause
you
it's,
want to get so many people in and to experience what you've experienced, but behind that all is a good 200-hour journey.
yeah,
Yep.
but it's like you're who is picking up a Final Fantasy game and going, "Ah, yes, this will only take 15 hours and I will be done." Like it's at some point you also have to realize you were playing a JRPG. You were playing a Final Fantasy JRPG. And every MMO is kind of different. Like, you're not supposed to sit here and be able to binge it. Like, you're supposed to put it down and play something else. That has always been a core philosophy of like Final Fantasy MMOs in general, because that's the same kind of thing with
Oh
11.
my gosh.
Because 11 also has a system of you can start on any expansion that you want. The story might not make sense, but you can catch up, and it's like people who play 11 for the story will tell you, don't do that. Play
It's
everything.
funny that you say that because that's how a lot of content is kind of made, especially like with like do you remember Island content? The slow life content that was made
Oh
back in
yeah,
like
Island
what was it,
Sanctuary.
in Walker Island Sanctuary? Yeah. That was meant to be a slow burn.
Yeah.
You know what people did? They spreadsheeted it.
But here's the thing: the
Oh,
only
yeah.
people who spreadsheeted it are people who were already caught up on everything else. Like the people,
Uh-huh.
yeah, and it's one of those things where like
And then
I
they
didn't
did it
touch
with
it
the
either because I
next
wasn't
bit of
interested.
content.
Yeah,
They did it with the next bit of content. It was min maxed when when the intent of it was take it at a slow pace,
And
enjoy
Here's the
it.
thing. People are always going to optimize the fun out of games, and there's not really much anyone can do other than decide not to do that for themselves, even if they
Yep.
see the optimizations.
yeah. Like I think that's my thing. If you were choosing to optimize gameplay and then complain that you didn't get to enjoy the gameplay, I'm like, that's kind of on you. Uh, so if you don't want to
Yep.
like play a story, that's fine. I have, y'all are going to be shocked to know this. I play this game with several friends who don't have a lick of an idea what's going on in the story. And that's fine because they are playing the part of the game that they enjoy. And if they have questions about the story, they just ask me. I'm told it's like playing the game.
Me too.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where like they also recognize that they can't really complain about not enjoying the story because they don't play it the same way versus folks who are like, no, I want to take my time and enjoy the story. Like that's a choice that you got to make, and you can do both. But it is
Yes.
again part of the older MMO thing of there is a lot to catch up on, and that's why they keep doing, free trials for the expansions, because then you can really take your time with earlier bits of the story, and they're not going to ask you for money for it until you like really start to get to the point where it feels more MMO like.
Yeah. And the fact that not all of the story is voiced is also a sticking point for a lot of people.
It's also just a lot of
Not
voice.
by choice sometimes. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's a cost-effective issue. We'll just say
Yeah.
cost-effective in quotations for now.
Yeah, I do agree, but like a lot of people are like, oh, it's not voice. Well, I'm just going to skip all of the story then because like I don't want to read part of it.
That's one of the things that kind of that's one of the issues I had with Dawn Trail.
But here's the thing with the story. Yes, it's amazing. But a lot of it is only amazing because of what came before and what it built on, and that it keeps building over and over. So if you, for instance, just skip to Endwalker, you're not going to have the same experience as someone who went through everything that came before, instead of just saying, okay, some crazy dude jumped in a hole and then we killed the thing and cool, you know.
It's Sion. It's something to do with like restream, where we streamed to 2 different pieces of media, and then it just shows up with.
Yeah, that'll go away soon when we finally throw Prism in the trash where it belongs.
Yeah.
So I think we got away from speculation story-wise, but the truth is, like, they could take this anywhere, and I think that that's so fun
I
because
think
there's so
that's
much
great.
about Aetheris that we could still learn, and all of the areas in Aetheris that we could go to are all excellent pathways for where we think the story is going, either next expansion or like overall.
And a villain that isn't like, oh, this guy's definitely bad. This guy is definitely the bad villain. Now it's like, well, I mean, she seems kind of bad, but she's also kind of
I'm
cute, and you know, may
choosing
not
to
be.
believe in her for the time being, but I do that for everybody. And
You
then
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
listen,
she seems mild mannered.
yeah,
She may be
I
trustworthy, may not be, but she doesn't seem like, oh yeah, she's definitely going to be the one that we have to bonk on the head, knock out, and drag it back to the abyss.
Yeah.
I
I've seen a handful of people be like, oh man, I can't wait to kill her. All Asians must die. And I'm like, really? We're still on that? Really?
Yeah, sure. We're gonna keep
my
drinking the
God.
Kool-Aid.
I'm going to choose to have faith, and I don't care that I'm being baited by a cute girl.
So they want to kill Gaia.
Yeah, I understand this is
Yes,
happening.
they do.
Wow.
Wow.
But I guess I just look forward to betrayal if it happens, because I want to, like, here's the thing is, I'm buying into it on purpose because I want that. Like, I want that level of visceral betrayal to happen. Because
Yes.
that's what I
Yeah.
let myself do in Shadowbringers, because we just got done me defending people who take time. I did up through 5.4 in a single sitting because my back broke. Like, I am not. Nobody should play the game like I did. That's why I'm saying, please take your time with it. But I let
Yes.
myself buy into what they were selling, and that made everything so much more fun. So it's
I mean,
like,
to be
you
fair,
just gotta put yourself in there.
I do patches in a night. I do patches in a night or two, but half the time of that, I am taking screenshots of literally every single piece of dialogue, and then the night after I do the patch, I'm sifting through those screenshots and I'm kind of analyzing every bit of it. Like, okay, here's where they said this. This might be important. This might be important, and I just bring it up to you guys who have probably already done it too, but that's usually how I do patches. It's on an atomic level, on a subatomic level. Don't do what I do, guys. It's too much.
But that's the thing is, you're enjoying it the way that you want to enjoy it, and you're not rushing through it for the sake of optimization. I just
Yeah.
It's just optimizing my brain.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I take PTO days and I do all the raids first, and then I like get off of the call with my friends, and then I go through and I like live stream the patch content for live reactions, and that's how I take my notes. Like, everyone does it differently, and that's part of the MMO experience. And then I get to sit in a call while all my friends do it and like get to have their reactions. It's fun.
Yep. I agree with that. I think it's great that so many people can experience the story in different ways. I think that's a strength of the game, and I think that I really appreciate people who haven't done it yet and who are like, you know what? I have not done this story. I'm going to stream myself running through it, because it's people like that that are responsible for this podcast existing.
Yep.
Because we were just watching people play through Shadowbringers, and then we were like, man, it would be cool to talk about this stuff with someone.
It's been a long 6 years.
Yeah, it has.
No, 7 years, right?
7,
'Cause we
yeah,
did
2019.
2019, yeah.
I
That was
started
Shadowbringers.
playing a little over 5 years ago now, and I'm
No,
like,
it's been
wow, that's
6.
wild.
Because we started after 5.3. We were talking, but we started the cast after 5.3.
Yep. Yeah, there are people who want to talk about this game? No, I don't believe the lies. So
Don't believe Ondor's lies.
yeah, we'll talk more after FanFest once we have a little bit more information about, you know, where we're going. The first part of the 3-part trailer dropping on the 23rd. But where we're going as a cast, as a show. So right now, we're working on, you know, getting our interface updated, moving away from Prism, doing some more community interaction stuff instead of just sitting up here and talking at each other. Yeah. Right now, I know we had a weekly show before. Right now, we're on one episode a month. So the next episode is either going to be on the 27th of April or May 6th after we get back from FanFest, so we can gush about everything that happened there. Um, but we will let you know. And of course, as said earlier, someone said earlier, theory boards. But if there's anything you want to see on the show, if there's anything that you think would be cool for us to do, we want to hear about it. We want to hear,
Let
what your
us
takes
know
are.
on the either in the Discord, or you can message the the Twitter account. I run it, so I will usually be the one to respond. In addition, it, we have our own kind of social media profiles and our own like streaming platforms too. So if we are playing a game or anything like that, be sure to check us out there. I do plan on watching the live letter on my own channel, and giving my thoughts on it as well, because Cobb and Aeneas are going to be there physically and can't do that. So I'll be at home
Yep.
watching it.
But I have considered the idea of going live at FanFest. I'm probably not going to, because it's probably a terrible idea to do it when I'm drunk. Um,
The internet is going to be your bigger issue.
Yeah, true.
From having attempted to help a few other content creator friends coordinate that.
Yeah,
It's not super feasible unless you're paying for your own like satellite cell receiver and hooking that up to
I
a camera
remember
with a battery
Gateway.
life.
I remember what happened
Yeah.
at Gateway. So
That was fun.
oh, it sucked.
I want to go again this year.
Oh no, the Gateway Con was fun. The internet sucked.
Yes.
To be clear, we love Gateway here.
Gateway Fate's
is
amazing.
great, and we're going.
I
for a
plan on
third
going again
year.
this fall. It
Yeah,
was
I will
super
be
fun.
there. As will the usual crew.
Yeah. I'm gonna try and
Yeah.
make
So
it.
it'll be a good time.
No, I'm not gonna stream at FanFest. I toyed with the idea and ultimately decided it was a terrible idea.
You can take a video and
Yeah.
then post it to
Vlog
social
it.
media.
Yeah,
Yeah, vlog
That's
it.
true.
I'll record my reaction to the trailer. Along with
You can do shorts while
15
you're
other
there,
people.
like, oh, here, look at this cool person.
Do a bunch
I
of
just
face
met."
cam stuff. Don't point it towards the screen at all. It's just your face.
Oh god. That sounds terrible. I hate that.
It's
idea.
just the whole video is just you making ooh ah.
Oh.
I'm gonna zoom in on Tyrant's face as he reacts to the next ultimate and then immediately puts his head down to start planning for it. Because I'll be doing a lot of things for it this
Mhm.
time around. Just like the last one, but more somehow.
Nice.
I don't know how to say no when people ask me to do things about this game.
That's why they keep asking you to do things.
Here's
Yeah.
what you do. You turn your head left. and
No.
You turn your head right. And you turn your head left.
I'm just nodding, like, yeah,
But
I'm
she's-
available.
The problem is she's on her side and it just looks like a nod.
Yeah, there you go. It's one of those things. I love joking about this, but it is true because I have stat breakdowns, which I will actually be talking about at Dragon Con for anyone who's attending. The tracking team specifically sleeps less and is working more than a lot of the racers, which is very fun because we have like 8-hour shifts. And then when we're not tracking, we are helping whoever is tracking. So I average maybe 2 or 3 hours of sleep per night during Ultimate Race Week.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And I may or may not get to do some of the prizing again for this one, which was super fun for Fru. So I'm hoping I get to do it again for this one. But
Eyes
we'll
were
see.
as red as Cyclops from X-Men.
Yeah, you see me show up for my casting shift on day 4, and I'm a literal zombie trying to explain mechanics to you.
Oh, it's fun. All right. Well, I think that's gonna do it for today's episode. Does anyone else have anything else to say before we close it out?
Not really, except that I run the social media account so that if anyone decides they want to go live and share it with everyone, and they want to invite you guys to watch along or whatever, I'll let you know, and I'll throw it out there on this on Twitter, and that includes myself as well, so that you guys can have a bit of us in the meantime while waiting for our next show next month. It's going to be a busy month next month. I mean, we've got the patch and we've got the Fanfest to look forward to. So,
Yep, a lot coming and very, very excited. That's it. If you want to talk to us before the next show, please join our Discord. Give us a shout. Let us know.
drop those links.
I have to look it up. In the meantime.
Oh my god.
God.
It's funny too. I should have the link because I made a fresh Discord invite link earlier, and then I don't think it's in my clipboard anymore.
Looks like we got there regardless, but it's good. to be
Yeah.
back. I've missed chatting with y'all.
Yeah, I have to.
Same.
All right, team. Have a fantastic night.
You as well. Take care, everyone.
Nice.